Hello and welcome to the Learning Mindset Podcast, episode number 1. My name is Frank and I'm really glad that you're here. Thank you so much for taking the time to download and listen to this podcast. Now, this being episode number 1, the subject matter is already prescribed for us. We're going to talk about what this podcast is about so that you can make a decision of whether it adds value, and I hope it does. And if it does, subscribe and listen to subsequent episodes. I'm hoping to do about 1 episode a week. Let's see how that goes. But what is this podcast about? Well, this podcast is about our ability to learn and to develop a learning mindset. It's about how we develop and improve and optimize our ability to learn more effectively and more efficiently. We're going to take a look at how there's a lot of research that's coming out, which uncovers a better understanding of how we learn, how people learn, and how we can take that research and the results of that research and apply it to our own interests, whatever they may be. So you might be interested in science, you might be interested in social sciences, you might be interested in a hobby, but all of those things have something in common. They all require learning. Now, whatever your motivation is, you might have motivation to learn the guitar, you might have motivation to learn about astronomy. Whatever your motivation is, that's just the first part of the learning equation. The second part is to actually learn about that subject so that you can make that motivation permanent. Motivation itself is momentary, whereas learning is really the motivation made permanent. You're able to go and you're able to know something about the world around you, about the things that interest you, about the things that are important to you. And wouldn't it be cool if there were techniques and methodologies and research that would help us understand that process of learning so that we could actually be more effective learners, so that we could have a learning mindset that allows us to explore the world around us? That's really what this entire podcast series is about. Success comes from adapting to our environment, and really that's the definition of learning. Learning is understanding and adapting. So we want to make sure that we take advantage of all the things that cognitive science has evolved to help us understand about learning, and then really leverage that so that we can be the best learners we can possibly be. We know that learning occurs in everyone. I believe that everybody's learning all the time. It's just a question of what are they learning about. And generally, I find that in my own experience, because I've been a teacher for over 25 years, and I find in my own experience that if you can motivate students to learn and give them success in learning, teach them how to learn more effectively, then that really sort of creates a feedback loop of success by learning how to learn yields better learning results. So that's really what we're going to look at here. Now, there's many tools we can use. On this channel, I talk more about the concepts of learning because it's an audible type of environment here. It's a podcast. You can listen to it while you're out for a run or a jog or something. I'm going to keep most of the podcasts fairly short here, so it'll be one bite-sized topic that you can learn about and then think about and then hopefully apply. I do have a YouTube channel. So I have a YouTube channel called Learning and Technology with Frank. On that channel, I look more at sort of practical application of technology for learning and teaching better. It's more of a visual medium and it makes more sense. So on the Learning and Technology with Frank YouTube channel, I look more about how we can use software or technology to help us learn and teach better. Here on this podcast, we're going to look more at the theory behind learning, and we're going to look at some of the tools and maybe books or resources or papers that help us understand the process of learning better. So it's really intended to be a place where we can explore those topics that are best suited to the audible format, and where we can share ideas and resources and really create ideation or generate ideas. So thanks so much for listening to the first episode. It's a short episode, but I wanted to make sure that you understood what the podcast was about, if it's something that you're interested in. And if it is, go ahead and subscribe, and we'll put up the first episode each week. We'll put up an episode, try to release them on a fairly regular schedule every Wednesday or Thursday, and it'll be a topic in developing a learning mindset. Thank you so much for listening to the Learning Mindset Podcast. My name is Frank. You can find me over on YouTube on the channel Learning and Technology with Frank, where I look at topics on how we can learn and teach more effectively with technology. You can see my blog over at Summit Tech Academy, where I write about topics related to learning and technology. And of course, stay tuned and subscribe for more episodes here of the podcast. Again, thank you so much for listening. We'll see you in the next episode.